The 14th Amendment. My name is Jonathan.
Ron.
The 14th Amendment is the Constitution was ratified on July 9, 1868 and granted citizenship to all persons born and naturalized in the United States, which include former slaves recently freed. The Due Process Clause prohibits state and local governments officials from depriving persons of life, liberty, and property without the Equal Protection Clause requires each state to provide equal protection under the law to all people within the jurisdiction.
Plessy versus Ferguson, 18th of May, 1896. The Louisiana legislature had passed a law requiring black and white residents to ride separate but equal train cars. In 1892, Louisiana police arrested Homer Adolph Plessy, who was 7/8 Caucasian, for taking his seat on a train car reserved for whites only, because he refused to move to a separate train car reserved for blacks. Plessy argued that the Louisiana state statute violated the 13th and 14th Amendments by treating black Americans inferior to whites. Plessy lost in every court in Louisiana before appealing to the Supreme Court in 1896. In a 7-1 decision, the court held that as long as the facilities were equal, the separation satisfied the 14th Amendment. Justice Harlan authored the long dissent. Passionately, he clarified that the Constitution was colorblind, railing the majority for an opinion which he believed would match Dred Scott in anything. Brown versus Board of Education, 17th of May, 1954. It is impossible to mention victories of the Civil Rights Movement without pointing to Brown v. Board of Education. Following the court's ruling in 1896 on Plessy v. Ferguson, segregation of public schools based solely on race was allowed by states if the facilities were equal. Brown overturned that decision, regardless of the equality of facilities. The court ruled that separate is inherently unequal. Thus, public school segregation based on race was found in violation of the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. Mapp v. Ohio, 19th of June, 1961. What happens when the police obtain evidence from illegal search or seizure? Before the court's decision in Mapp, the evidence could still be collected, but the police would be censured. Police had received a tip that a bombing suspect might be located at Dahlry Mapp's home in suburban Cleveland, Ohio. When police asked her to search her home, Mapp refused unless the police produced a warrant. The police used a piece of paper as a fake warrant and gained access to her home illegally. After searching the house without finding the bombing subject, police discovered sexually explicit materials and arrested Mapp pursuant to state law that prohibited the possession of obscene materials. Mapp was convicted of possessing obscene materials and faced up to 7 years in prison before she appealed her case on the argument that she had a First Amendment right to possess the material. The court held that evidence collected from an unlawful search, as this search obviously had been, be excluded from trial. Justice Clark's majority opinion incorporated the Fourth Amendment's protection of privacy using the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment, a very controversial move.
The 14th Amendment gives people of all races and ethnicities to live the American dream. It allows people who want to better themselves and move away from poverty-driven countries to do so.